result to show for it.
Real platform is a place where you don't leave the way you come in. It changes you entirely. You become a different person for good, actually. Real platform is a place where you come, you get to learn. Real platform is a place where you also network and you meet wonderful people. We are blessed with wonderful set of people where you can actually learn from, and they can also learn from you.
The Real Platform is a knowledge-based institution. It's an organization that helps build its individual into change agents. Like when you get to spot a problem, you get to profile solution to the problem, and it has helped my life in such a way that I get to build relationships with people around me. I get to do things with zeal and with excellence as a goal.
I joined way back as a student, which is some 11 years ago. And I am still here, and nobody leaves whatever that works. So Real Platform works, and it has impacted me not just in my social life. I relate more with people, I learn how to manage people, I learn how to relate with people. All this is what you gain and you get when you relate and associate with the center of real impact.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
To me, the Real Platform has been that air that I need to stand out as an individual, and then as the person that aspire or look into the future.
The Real Platform is that organization that takes you from where you are, assesses where you want to be, and then directs you on how to get to where you want to be. And then it has impacted me in building my capacity. It's made me realize that knowledge is power, even though it's something I've heard a lot of times, and I've even thought it's cliche. But with the Real Platform, I've seen knowledge transform me. It's something I couldn't even imagine. There are some times where I didn't know I had the capacity to do something, but just little take-homes from our webinar and seminars, well practicalized, was able to make me achieve certain things I didn't really know I could achieve before.
The Enterprise and Innovation Development Summit is a place where people in business, professionals and leaders come together. They come to rub minds, they come to learn from each other, and they come to share ideas, they come to network, they come to see how we can try.
For me, EID Summit is always disruptive in the sense that they help to reconfigure your mind. Those people that come to teach us are not just telling us from the pages of the books. They are not making us clones of the authors, but rather they are sharing practicality of how they have been able to survive and grow their businesses to where it is.
So we watch them speak and talk about their experiences, and for me, if these people can do it, I know that I can do it too, and that one day we will get there. I'll get to be like them as long as I continue to persist.
Well, every year is different, but something is consistent. We get global change leaders to come and share their experience with us, and then there's something consistent, and that's process. You can't skip the process, and you need to build capacity.
So I have been able to listen, see, and hear from those people, those who have broken more grounds, those who have excelled, have been in high places, who have gone through a lot of things. Gold needs to go through fire. Those who have gone through the fire to be who they are. So EID Summit is a place to be, a place where we get to learn.
It's been something that once you get to attend, you really don't go back the same person. Like, you come out with this fresh ideas suddenly because of those who have gone ahead of you, how they're able to, express themselves.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Our vision is to be an international center where change agents are raised and released for global impact. Our mission is to create a platform for inspiring, educating, and empowering people to maximize their existence in life. We run our system based on these core values: diligence, readiness, excellence, accountability, and mentoring.
Kunle Joe Komolafe, fondly known as KJK, is the lead strategist of the KJK Development System, a leadership, strategy development, and peak performance consulting organization, a mentor to 100 and coach to several internationally, an author of 4 books with the most recent, Unlock Your Relevance. He is the founder of the Center for Real Impact, a non-governmental organization that bridges the gap between the dreams and realizations of young adults and millennials. He inspires anyone that comes his path to maximize existence and live life to its fullest and in purpose. He is a multi-dimensional, seasoned speaker and peak performance coach who has over 20 years built relevance from a humble beginning. He places premium on the art of development and mastery. He strongly believes that anyone, any organization, or nation can become her dream if key skills are fostered. KJK is a John Maxwell Leadership Certified Speaker and a Certified Business Analyst. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, please give a real platform welcome to Kunle Joe Komolafe.
Thank you. How are we all doing? Awesome. I am excited to be with us from across the world, right? We have people joining in from the US, we have people joining in from the UK, and we have a chunk, joining from our base, which is Nigeria. Yeah, Dr. Kike, how you doing? Good. All right, guys, can you just go into the chat room and just, draw some thumbs up, say something to the other viewers, cut across, share your expectations with us. What are you expecting from this webinar, this teaching, as we wrap up the year 2022? We've been doing this for many, many years, and I am excited about the fact that we can have time to, come together again and do this before the year wraps up. And I'm sure that every one of us, that will run with these things will not regret it at all. Like I always say, one of my role models, would always say that it is not what you hear that counts, right? But what you do with what you hear. Awesome, Dr. Tosin, Patience, see you all. It's good to have everyone here, It is not what you hear that counts. It is what you do with the things that you hear. It is not what you read that counts. I'm an avid reader, I read wide, I read deep, but it is not really about, how many books you have read, but it is the most important thing is what are you doing with the ones that you have heard? What are you doing with the ones that you have read? And that's why I'm big on simplicity. You know, the things that I'll be sharing to you today are not the things that you probably haven't heard before, but there would be several, oh, really, moments for you, you know, when we begin to have this discussion. There will be moments where you would be like, oh, I've heard this several times, but I haven't heard it like this before, you know, because of the way that we have chosen, you know, the path that we have chosen to simplify what looks like, something really tough and difficult for people to understand. So um, I'm not expecting you to leave confused. I'm expecting you to live with some more clarity, some more understanding as we prepare for the year 2023. Now, I want to say this very quickly, that I agree with the fact that, you know, the year starts in January and all that. But some years ago, I did a research about, you know, the calendar year, how it all came to be, and all that. Julius Caesar, you know, having to change the calendar year from the Roman calendar to the Julian calendar. And then it moved from March, you know, to January and all that. So, uh, panicking and crying and getting yourself depressed over the fact that, oh, in December 2021, I said I was going to do this, I was going to do that, you know, blah, 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 and all that. And then look at me, it's December 23rd, and I haven't been able to achieve even 50% of the things. I said I was going to get married. I didn't even have any toaster. I said I was going to travel out, and then all my applications got bounced back to my face. I said I was going to do this, I was going to do that, you know. Listen, guys, this thing that we call calendar is put there by man, you know, just to bring some kind of bring us to that place of being able to measure, right? Bring us to that place where we're able to quantify some of the things that we need to do, we have done, we should do, you know, and all that. So for those of us, you know, who are like, God, you know, he's not, I just want to put that disclaimer out there that he's not man. He doesn't think like we think, right? So he doesn't process stuffs like we process stuffs. You know, don't forget that he made us, right? And he knows us. And he doesn't run by our calendar, okay? I need to establish that as we begin to have this foundation laying webinar that we're going to continue, you know, all through the month of January, just so we can have a good grasp of the things that we need to do, we need to achieve, we need to accomplish in 2023 and even beyond. So if you are one of such persons that is just overwhelmed, like you have gone into your shell and you are beating yourself up because you had this mega goals and these are the things I want to achieve in 2022 and you did not achieve much as expected, and then you are already downcasted, beating yourself over it, just maybe, I mean, in a lighter mood, right? Just maybe your own calendar year is going to start, or you're supposed to start in March, you know, just maybe your own started just in December. So don't govern yourself, you know, strictly by these things, but let these things be a measuring yardstick that is adjustable. You know, let it be a way that you can be accountable to yourself and to the few, the 1, 2, 3 people in your world that you have chosen to be accountable, you know, to. So I decided to throw this out there just to encourage somebody that is under the sound of my voice, either this afternoon or this morning or this evening, depending on where you're joining from. Be encouraged, the things that you could not achieve, in 2022, you can achieve them in 2023. You can take them over into the new setup that you are about to learn how to do. You can move them into the new paradigm. You can move them into the new block. You understand? More like an Excel sheet. You can copy them from here and paste them here and readjust, reevaluate yourself, readjust yourself. Check it again. What are the things that I did not do right? What are the things that I need to improve on doing and all that? And then one of the things that the teaching today is going to do, within the time that I have, if we cannot exhaust it, of course, like I said, would move, we're going to have a lot to talk about in January. Talk about money, talk about relationship, and our careers, education for those who are in that line as well, and just see as far as we can go, simplifying some of these things that look like a hard rock to a lot of us over the years. I've had questions on, time, procrastination, vision, goals, and all that. And my ability to be able to pick up these things that look like a mountain and be able to simplify them in such a way that my 5-year-old daughter, like I'm going to explain to us today, can listen to me and understand. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. So very quickly, please, there is a link. You want to share this link to your friends, to your family, to your colleagues, to your loved ones. Put it out there. Let them come online and either learn something new or let them come online and be refreshed, about the things they already know that they probably have forgotten. At times we get so familiar with knowledge that the errors of our movement is based on this knowledge that we think or that we have or we know. You understand? So share this link on your status, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, after the event, you can go back there and delete it because it will be over. Although we're on Facebook, and then we're on YouTube, and then we're on Zoom. So you can choose anyone you want to share with your friends and your loved ones. Some few days ago, I was having a conversation with the leaders of this tribe, the Real Platform. And some of the things I told them, I'm going to be like bringing them out, in little pieces just to get us to have a little feel and understanding of some of the things that we shared. And I said to them at some point that you cannot learn what you think you already know. You cannot learn what you think you already know. Because by the time we start going deeper into some of these things, you probably would have heard these words, you have read about them several times, and then you just blow it away like, I know it. But the truth of the matter is this, knowing actually comes by repetition. The true knowing, the genuine knowing, right? It comes by repetition, by doing it over and over and over again. Isn't that what it takes to be a master at anything anyway? That's what it takes to be a master. Consistently doing something over and over again, learning the art, learning the skills, and unlearning some of the things that you need to unlearn, and then just keep pushing, keep moving, keep pushing, repeating the cycle again, do it again, do it again, do it again, until you become a master at it. So you cannot learn what you think you already know. And that's the error of our generation, where a lot of young people, a lot of us think that we know It's a major sickness. It's a major one that the few folks that we are privileged to provide some kind of mentorship or some kind of intimate friendship with, we let them know that we are consistent learners in this tribe. We are consistently learning, even if we've heard it before. We might not just have heard it the way she's about to say it or he's about to say it. So we are consistently positioned to learn. I remember it was at the EAT Summit that I said, and I've said that over and over for those who have been in this circle for a long time, that knowledge is powerful. I mean, they say applied knowledge, right? But you need to know first before you even apply it, right? So when people say knowledge is not it, it's not about knowledge, it's about applied knowledge. No, knowledge, it is knowledge, because it is knowledge first before you even think about the application of it, right? So the first thing that comes to us is knowledge. Then we move from knowing to applying the things that we know. And I said to them, and I've always said that the word knowledge is powerful. It simply means know and edge. If you slice the word into two, using the L in between, know slash the L, then the edge. What you know is what gives you an edge. What you know is what gives you an edge. I'll say that again so it can sink in. What you know is what gives you an edge. Oh, KJK, I know it already, but it's not really, no, you've not known it enough. You've not chewed it enough. Probably you need to dive more deeper. You need to go more deeper. What you know is what gives you an edge. Very important. You cannot learn what you think you already know. And that's why all changes start with being honest with yourself. All changes start with being honest with yourself. You can deceive everybody, put on the makeups, put on all the designers in this world, you know, the Versace, the Gucci, the everything that you can ever think about, put on all the makeups, you know, Mary Kay and all that. Listen, friends, the truth of the matter is that the real you will always be true to the real you. The real you will always be truthful to the real you. All change starts with being honest with yourself. And that's why I'm asking you, friends, as we begin on this journey together, with this being the first outing, I want us to just sit down, get your notepad, get your pen. Even if you've had these things before, just take notes, right? Or, you know, record it, go back to it on YouTube, and just watch these things over and over again. In your closet, in the quietness of your closet, you want to be genuinely truthful to yourself. You know, one of the things I have learned, one of the things I have learned in about 20 years on this pathway is that if you work hard, listen to me carefully, if you work hard and creatively, because it's not just about working hard, it's also about working creatively. And that's why we have a lot of people working hard, but because they did not add that creativity, that innovation into their hard work, they get results like mere men. So if you work hard and you are creative about it, you can have just about anything you want. You can have anything you want. But let that be in an uppercase, capital letter as it is. Not everything you want. There are two different things. If you work hard and creative enough, you can have just about anything you want, but not everything. Not everything. And we will be defining some of these things as we progress in this teaching. today. When you are honest about who you are, when you are genuinely honest about who you are, then you begin to put in the work as knowing yourself that this is me, not trying to be someone else. This is me going into 2023. I have tried it all this way. Now, someone said that what's the first principle to success? I mean, I guess we're talking about success today, right? So is that the first principle to success is that man, know thyself. Man, know thyself. Just know yourself. So that's the first big question I have for you today. Do you know yourself? Do you truly know who you are? You have talked down on yourself. You have, rubbished yourself. You have slapped yourself. You have beaten yourself. You have cursed yourself and done all manner of things. Even though outside, when you are out there, you're like, oh, all cheerful, right? But when you get back behind the door, the things that you say to yourself, the things that you do to yourself is amazing. When people really hear some of these things, beat yourself up because you don't know who you are. So when you are honest about who you are, you learn to stop wanting everything. It is our desire, our drive, our push, our hunger to wanting everything. That's what has brought us to where we are today. Because we are not running our own race anymore. And I'm talking about how you can become successful in whatever sphere of influence that you are or you find yourself in 2023. You will learn to stop wanting everything. Are we together? Why do people become negative about life? Why do people have negative energies? Why do people become competitive? Why do people derail like they're on fire in January? Everything is in February. Everything is moving, February ending, and then in March, they begin to look to the left and look to the right, and then look to what they have written down, and then they are like, oh, maybe I should, try it again this way. Maybe I should try it again this way. And then they lose focus. They lose focus. One of the reasons why people become negative, negative energy, negative vibes, like we call it, or people become competitive, or people derail from the track. One of the many reasons, challenges are there and all that, but the truth of the matter is this, that at times we set certain goals, which we will talk about later in the next few minutes. We set certain goals, we beyond our capacity, beyond what our capacity can handle at the current state that we find ourselves. It's okay to stretch. It's okay to dream big. We teach all these things. We say all these things. It's okay to want it all, but you can't have it all. Honey, you can't have it all. So envy steps in. It steps in. Unconscious envy. And you see, guys, envy is an indicator, right, that alerts you if you are being honest with yourself. That's the indicator. Envy, when you begin to notice envy, it's an alert that, hey, you are derailing. You are not being honest with yourself. See, right? If you can look at someone who has things that you don't have. Probably a house, a car, a job. You've applied several times to get your PhD into the UK or your master's into the UK. You want to move your family, out of the country, or you want to change job, you want to change, the house, the car. When you look at someone who has things that you don't have, and you say to yourself, right, you know what? I really don't want that. I really don't want that. Now, I'm not talking to the you outside. I'm talking to the you behind the closed doors. I'm talking to the you in your room, right? So I don't think I want this. Or I know I want this. I know I deserve this. And I know I'll get it when my time comes. So at the right now, I'm going to celebrate him. I'm going to cheer her up. I'm going to wave the flag of celebration for him or for her. Then you are in a good place. You're in a good place. Now, it's interesting, right? Some people will be like, what dimension is this as to preparing for the new year? Listen, the prize to happiness. See, let them take everything that you have, but don't let anyone touch your joy zone. Don't let anything touch your happy zone. Don't let toys, as you prepare for the new year, as good as they are. I love toys. You understand? The iPhone 14, the Samsung 22, the house, the 2022 version of a car. All these things are excellent and they are good. But when they begin to become the definition of your happiness and your joy, then you're going to have big, big issues in the nearest future. Very big issues. Because you want to settle down, and then your friend or your colleague or someone has settled down, and then you begin to pick on issues that you shouldn't pick on just to create that fence, then you have a problem. You have a problem. I'm laying a foundation to much more. What will give you peace of mind, which should be the goal of everyone under the sound of my voice today? What will give you peace of mind in 2023 is being honest with yourself enough to know who you are and do what it takes to live the life that you want. That's it. That's it. Understand your 10 fingers and stay within that 10 fingers, because the capacity of yours is going to be different from the capacity of him or her. Everything you will achieve next year, every dream, every goal, every aspirations that you will achieve next year comes down to this one thing: peace of mind. That joy place, that happy zone. And it's important that we lay this foundation. So drilling down some more, right? In 2023, your vision, which we'll be talking about, I'm going to break these things down to the littlest possible way in the next few minutes. Your vision must align with who you want to be. Who do you want to be on the 23rd of December 2023? You're going to define that today and in the next few days, if you haven't done that already. Your vision must align with that, who you want to be. Your choices next year must align with that. It must align with your vision. Your decisions must align with that. Your efforts, your hard work Your smart work, your energy must align with that, with the size of your vision. So you wouldn't tell me that you have a 10 by 10 sized vision and then you are putting in effort at a 6 by 4 level. You're not going to achieve it. And then you get frustrated in June. And then you get angry in July. And then you give up in August. That's what happens when the energy, the effort, the drive you are putting is not commensurate to what you have told yourself at the beginning of your defined calendar year. Then when the results are not matching up, then you get like, what's going on here? Frustrated, angry at yourself and at every other person that comes around you. So your decisions, your choices, your efforts, your hard work, your relationships, your behavior, all these things must align with your vision, with the size of the vision, with your values and your principles for 2023. Still laying the foundation. Because, listen, let me give you a breaking news, right? The truth of the matter is this, that there's only one person you have to spend every second of your life with. This year, next year, there's only one person that you have to spend every second of your life with. And guess who that person is? It's not your parents. It's not your spouse, if you have one. It's not your bestie. It is you. At the end of the day, KJK say two shall become one. Hello? Why are you not wearing the same clothes? Why are you not eating at the same time? Why are you not bathing at the same time? Why are you not going out at the same time? Because at the end of the day, as much as two shall become one, you still have your individuality. Like I would always say that when a relationship is coming together, it is 100% of you and 100% of her, or 100% of him, not 50-50. It's a wholeness of the both person. If there's no wholeness of the both, then it's not going to make a perfect combination. But that's for February. There's only one person.
What's happening?
Platform is an organization that is knowledge-based. When I say knowledge-based, the character of the organization is to bring people knowledge for things that they will need to grow in life, to bridge the gap, the knowledge gap that they have.
I joined this platform since my school days. It's been 10 years and above now. And I tell you, I have grown, from that time till now, and I have a lot of results to show for it.
This platform is a place where you don't leave the way you come in. It changes you entirely. You become a different person for good, actually. Real Platform is a place where you come, you get to learn, unlearn, relearn, and you also network and you meet wonderful people. We are blessed with wonderful set of people where you can actually learn from, and they can also learn from you.
The Real Platform is a knowledge-based institution. It's an organization that helps build each individual into change agents. Like when you get to spot a problem, you get to provide solution to the problem, and it has helped my life in such a way that I get to build relationships with people around me. I get to do things with zeal and with excellence as a goal.
I joined way back as a student, which is some 11 years ago. And I am still here, and nobody leaves whatever that works. So Real Platform works, and it has impacted me not just in my social life. I relate more with people, I learn how to manage people, I learn.
So sorry, I had of internet. I'm so sorry about that. All right, so let's just get back to what we were talking about, right? So I was talking about a breaking news. And I was talking about the fact that there's only one person you have to spend every second of your life with, and that person is going to be you. So we have to get to that point where we become more comfortable with ourselves. You have to get comfortable with yourself. It's very important. So the moment you understand and you accept this, you will eliminate self-judgment, and this right there will empower you a whole lot to make more bold steps in 2023. It will help you to make more bold steps, more bold moves in 2023, and it will minimize overthinking and it will increase execution for you. Very important. Can we mute, please? So let's dive a little bit deeper into some of the things that I want to share with us today. As we lay this foundation. Clarity, right? Clarity, C-L-A-R-I-T-Y. I want you to write that down in bold letters. Clarity. For those who are close, you would know that is one of my core emphasis. If we can answer the clarity questions, a lot of things, a whole lot of things will be achieved in a shorter time when we can answer the question of clarity. And like I said when I began, see, if you cannot explain it to my 5-year-old or to your 5-year-old or to a 5-year-old, then it is not clear enough. So when people are looking for the big words, the revelations, the revs and all that, I can't fathom it. Because that's the reason for confusion. That's the reason for confusion. That's the reason for puff-ups. Pride without substance on the streets. Because there's no clarity. One of the things that drives or that will drive success in 2023 is clarity of vision. Clarity of vision. Clarity of vision. That's why the Real Platform, this organization, is where it is today. And that's why it's going to be where it will be in the next few years, because we are so clear about it. We know what we want. We know where we are going. Against all storms, still standing, because there's clarity. There's clarity. All right, so let's talk a little bit about planning, goal setting, vision planning, and all that, as an introduction to the several other things that we'll be talking about, in the month of January. But I thought to myself, last week when I began to prepare for this, that what exactly do I need to, touch on that would help the people that would join us online to launch into 2023 with a better understanding, not just 7 steps or 10 steps, and all that. No, but what discussions can we have together that would help us prepare for 2023? And I said, okay, let's start by laying this foundation on goal setting, on planning from a different perspective. I mean, those who are close know already that we drop these topics and then it looks like, oh, I know about it. But when we begin to talk about it, like, oh, whoa, I never saw it in that light before, right? So have you ever been at a gathering? Have you ever been at a gathering where your phone rings, right? And then you took out your phone, to take the call, only to discover that it wasn't your call. The call wasn't yours. There was no incoming call for you. But that's my ringing tone, right? But it's not me. You know why? It was someone else's phone that rang, but that phone has the same ringtone as yours. So you thought it was your phone that was ringing. And why is it so? It's because you probably did not change the phone from the default ringtone that it came with. And that's what a lot of people do, sincerely, that's what my phone is still on the iPhone, the default phone, the ringtone. So I thought about it, right? And I found out that, so if we have 100 phones, that's like 100 people, using the same brand in a room, and you call each person, you would find out that over 70% of the people in that room will have the same ringtone. Over 70% of the people. But unfortunately, right, isn't that how many people live their lives? A lot of people live by default. As much as we have our notepad, it's December, let's take the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, they told us to bring it, and then, bring it, everybody just does all that. Someone defined insanity as doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same results. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. And that's how a lot of us live by default. We never make attempts to make a switch. Never. Everybody going about their lives without any intentionality in it, or just a little bit of intentionality in this aspect, in that aspect. And we're not going to make much out of life if we are not intentional with how we live. We won't. There is nothing at all, friends, nothing to be admired in a life that is lived from day to day without a goal, without a plan, what's gonna be, or just having stick notes everywhere scattered without clarity of purpose in each aspect, in each areas of your life, without putting in the work. I can assure you that probably over half of us here today, looking forward to the crossover nights For those of us who are Christians, looking forward to going and praying, looking forward to the declaration of the year, looking forward to, like, we've always had those things. I mean, I've always had them since I was born. We've always had those stickers since we were born and all that. Looking forward to the 21 days or the 16 days or the 5 days or the 1 week prayer fasting, you know, to prepare for the year and all that. All those things are good and they are excellent. But listen to me, friends, you have your own part to play. You have your own role to play. Someone said that if all your maker wants you to do is to run to him every time, then he will not give you brain. So you have your own role to play. And you have to play it well. In other words, you have a tweaking to do to switch from that default setting to recreating for yourself that pathway that has been judiciously searched out. That pathway that has been judiciously worked out. And you have to put in the work. You have to. And putting in the work is not in goal setting. Putting in the work is not even in, anybody can come up with a vision or a vision statement. Anybody can come up with goals. It doesn't take much. I'm going to give you some examples and you're going to be like, oh, wow. Anybody can come up with all that. But not everybody and anybody can sit down to put in the planning work. You see where the work is in the planning. That's where the work is. I know, I mean, even as an organization in the past few weeks, I know how much of energy and effort that has been put into proposal writing. We've been doing a lot of proposal writing from the office interface, lots of proposal writing. As at last night, I was still on the call. The national director, if he called me as late as 1 a.m., past 1 a.m., you understand, having conversation with another leader, Victor, and another one, and then our office personnel, Dorothy, at past 1 a.m. yesterday, trying to put in documents together. And then they had internet issues. They had to call me. Can I help come online? Can I do this for them and all that? And then we got it done. We had to go offline as at some minutes past 2 a.m. Nigerian time. Why? Because that's where the work is. That's where the work is. And a lot of institutions are not putting in energy to teach, to train, to empower us in that aspect. Just write it down. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And that's what a lot of us have. But I have come to us today to say that there is more to be done. If you've been doing that in the past years, just maybe that's why it's not working. Because it's not about writing it down. You need to have a book for these things. A book. If Dr. Teresa is online, I can tell her to switch the mic on, and then how much energy goes into that we put into preparing for each summit this year. The same thing with all the previous summits that we've had. And how much energy Bola is putting in for this year. It's not about, I mean, we just set a goal, right? To have the Enterprise and Innovation Development Summit 2023. That's a goal. That's the goal. Does that make it a success? Nope. Then we begin to look at different areas, which I'm going to help us. For those of us who this will be helpful for. Because it's helpful for everybody at different levels that we find ourselves. The top, those of us who are up there, with everybody. This is a ground rule for success, either in a personal life, family life, business, organization, anywhere that you find yourself. I took our time to even look at the definition of plan in Oxford Dictionary, and it says that it is a detailed proposal. Detailed proposal. It didn't say proposal. It said detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. Detailed. Can somebody write that in bold letter or just put it in the chat room? Detailed proposal for doing or achieving something. Or should I turn on the mic for someone like Dumebi or Victor, or some of our guys who are currently doing their masters in the UK, and when they set the goal to do masters in the UK, as though that just settles it. No, that didn't just settle it. In fact, I'm so sure that most of them had set this goal without even having a dime. When I say a dime, commensurate income or amount of money that will cover up for the expenses. So anybody can set goal, anybody. But there's more to it. And that's how I want us to begin to think, because this is the foundation of achieving success. This is the foundation. And if we don't get the foundation right, then nothing comes on it that will stand. Nothing comes on it that will stand if we don't get the foundation right. So, for example, now, when you have an appointment for, let's say for tomorrow, or for next week, you have a major appointment, or you want to go make a presentation somewhere and all that, what do? You start preparing, right? You're asking yourself questions like, what will I wear? You know, like I was going to have this webinar. Well, what should I wear? Should I wear a suit, tie, or should I just come casual? I mean, it's winter. Should I come with something a little bit, that shows what I was just thinking? I made the decision about 2 hours ago on what I was going to wear. But I can't start making the decision now that we are here. Maybe I just came in with a singlet. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Replatform webinar. Hold on, guys. Now I know what I want to wear. Aren't you guys going to start looking at me like an unserious element? Do you understand? So you're looking at how early do I need to leave to be on time for the meeting? You are checking. Is there going to be traffic at that time? Is it going to be a rush hour? You're even looking at what's going to be the weather forecast like for that day. Do I need an umbrella? Which route will be the best that will take me there? You are asking yourself, you are engaging your brain, you are engaging your mind towards a successful outcome. That's the difference between you and a lot of people. And that's the difference between me and a lot of people. What do I need to have? What certifications do I need to have? How do I need to have them? What do I need to have them? How much will it cost for me to have them? How do they interject? Where do they connect? What can I apply for when I have them? All these questions come after you have set that goal of, I need to change my job. That's the goal, to change my job in 2023. Some of you might even have it on your sheet already. But beyond writing these things down, there is more to it. And that's why a lot of goals go unachieved. That's why a lot of dreams go unfulfilled. It was Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory, one man that influenced me a lot, 25 years ago. He said that the richest place in the world is not the oil fields of Kuwait or the gold mines of South Africa, or whatever, diamond mines, all the beautiful places that great stuffs are found. He said the richest place in the world is behind your house. Like in my village, where right behind our house, at the front of our house, everybody is buried. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, I don't know if you have that kind, for those of us from Africa watching. Right? Behind our house. So, what are we trying to say here? He said that the richest place is right there. He said, there we have songs that were never sung. We have books that were never written. We have books that were never written. You know, we have projects that were never accomplished. Why? Because these things came to you as a goal, but you haven't put in the energy and the effort to drill deeper, to break these things down to the minutest form and begin to build from there. It's very important for us to understand this. So, what are you doing to be able to have a successful outcome in 2023? Now they say set goals. Now I want to show you how you can achieve these things. How you can achieve these things in a very minutest way that you will understand. Now, the first thing you want to do, right, is to define your outcome. What's going to be my outcome in 2023? What do I want to accomplish in 2023? Then you start putting measures, right? You start putting measures in place to help you achieve that outcome. That's the goal, right? Okay, you put in the outcome. This is going to be my outcome. Now, these are the things I need to put in the goals, right? Then you start putting in what? You start asking yourself certain questions, which are the things that I want to quickly put to us. But before we do that, the time is almost up. Before we do that, I'm just going to touch a little bit on planning, you know, and then I would take us to that point. We're going to show some graphic stuff on the screen for you to look at it. And then we're going to ask ourselves some questions, and I will show you some templates, some things that you can do that on this first day of our series of webinars, you can take this thing now, go back to your drawing board at the end of today and begin to work on these things in the next few days. And it's all about planning. That's it. That's all I want to talk about today. Planning. Why do I need to plan? Number one, plan is a leadership skill. You cannot desire to lead and not have a plan. It's not possible. You cannot desire to lead in your business. You know, when I say lead, the first thing that comes to your mind is governor or councillor or mayor. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about you becoming the CEO or the MD. No, I'm talking about you being able to live where you are and strive or thrive towards where you desire to be. That process is you leading yourself through how you can lead your business, how you can lead your personal life, how you can lead your relationship, how you can lead your finances. So planning is critical leadership skill. A leader, a you without a plan for 2023 is a failure about to happen. I'll repeat that again. A you without a detailed plan for 2023 is a failure already in progress. That's the truth. So you need to take these things very seriously. You know, planning bridges the gap, you know, between where you are, where you want to be. We've had that several times, right? So while your goal is where you want to be, but it does not automatically translate to how you will get there. I'll say that again. Your goal is where you want to be, but it does not translate automatically to how you will get there. Your goal is to be in Canada, but that does not translate automatically to you being in Canada. Your goal is to switch job in 2023, but that does not translate to you switching the job. Like we've always had all these things in the previous years coming. You know what closes that gap is planning. That's what closes the gap between the outcome you have set for yourself and where you are currently. This is the goal. this is where I am. What bridges that gap is planning, and that's what a lot of people don't do. You see what we call planning? It's not planning. That's not planning. If you genuinely plan, it's going to task your brain. You're going to need help from some accountable partners. You're going to need help from your mentor at some point when you are doing it. It provides direction. That's what planning does for actions. Planning provides direction for action. You know, planning reduces the risk of uncertainty. When you have the plans in place, it reduces because there's going to be uncertainties. I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to be 100% everything is going to work, but there's a major possibility of reduction, risk reduction, when you have plan in place. Because it is in putting this plan in place that you begin to see errors. That's when you begin to see the things that you need to fix. That's when you begin to see the things that you need to tweak a little bit. That's when you begin to look at the things that you need to adjust a little bit. Everyone under the sound of my voice must get this and get this right. Listen, life is not a walk in the park. Whether you like it or not, it's either you choose to stay mediocre and maintain status quo and give yourself 1,001 reasons why you should be where you are. Meanwhile, you have capacity for much more. It's like putting the engine of a Ferrari in a Volkswagen. Do you understand? Or demanding that a Vespa motorcycle do the job of a Ferrari. There's more to you than you can ever think. But bridging the gap between the you that you are now and the you that you're going to be on the 23rd of December, be it or be it not, you want to tell yourself when you scream Happy New Year that you have put in the work on paper, mentally, that will guide you. Anything can happen, but this is my roadmap. Anything can happen, but this is my architectural design. That's what I'm talking about this evening. And what does planning do? It breaks down these things into bite sizes for you. That's what planning does. It breaks down these things. So your goal will usually require a lot of smaller units coming together. That's what your goal is going to do for you. It needs that. I mean, that's what planning is going to do for you. It needs that smaller units. You see, that smaller units is what a lot of us avoid. Let me give you an instance. I'm on a weight loss goal, but what is the plan? Do you understand? So my doctor and I, we fixed a 30 lbs for 3 months, for 2 months. Then I was with him some few days ago, and then he was all excited. Oh, wow, you did it, but you didn't hit 30. I'm like, so what did I hit? Because I have a skill, I've been checking it. He said, you hit 18. You dropped 18. Joe, that's a good one. I'm like, ooh, yeah, well, that's a good one, but I didn't get there. It's better. And then he was like, so what are the things that you would now begin to do for us to hit 30 in the next 2 months coming? And then we began to talk about it. We looked at food, we looked at exercise, we looked at, now, all these things are still goals, but it is now for me to bring it back and now still break these things into smaller chunks. Exercise, when, where, how? Do you understand? And that's what we're going to go quickly. I wanted to touch on visions and goals, but let's not go there. Let's look straight into how thinking. Should we talk? Okay, let's talk about vision and goals a little bit. So I said earlier, right, that everyone close to me would know how big I am about vision, you know, and we'll be looking at that in January. We're looking at that in January, and I started a little bit about that because that's the first thing. The first thing is to see it. And that's what vision is. Your ability to picture it. If you can picture it, then you now set goals for it. If you can now set goals for it, then you now need to have, you know where a lot of people stop? A lot of people that have been privileged to have conversations, a lot of people. And being a student of people, biographies and autobiographies over time, I see the difference between the things that makes for success and that makes for greatness. They are not big things. They are these little minute things that we ignore. Little minute things. And we can't talk about planning until we have a proper understanding of visions and goals. Your vision is your why. It answers the question why. Why do you want to do it? Why do I want to lose weight? Why do I want to switch job? Why do I want to go into the relationship? Why, and why? It answers the vision question for you. For some of us, you already started a business, you started an organization, you want to switch city, you want to switch nation, you want to switch career. Why do you want to do that? And don't be ashamed to tell yourself, and that's why I started the way I started. Don't be ashamed to tell yourself that the reason why I want to do that is because I want to increase my financial status. I want to push my financial status up there. Okay, so why do you want to push your financial status up there? Now you're breaking these things down. Let me give you an example, just to buttress my point a little bit. For example, I have a personal vision, right? That my tribe, this tribe, we always believe in themselves. That's one of the things. I just want people, everybody that comes around me, I want them to believe in themselves. Another vision is to be such an excellent leader that my influence is multiplied in many. Okay, and the projects and services, whichever project and service I find myself in or doing, I wanted to grow without me present. I wanted to grow with my limited presence. That's a personal vision. Another one is to inspire others to find their unique destiny. That's one of the things I do. I've been doing that for many years. Inspire people to find their own unique destiny. You understand? So that's an example. So you start with to do what? What's your vision for 2023? To do what? Establish that. Now, you see what some of these things do for me and for many people is that it helps you gain clarity, and then you begin to attract the right kind of people, attract the right kind of resources. Everyone that I have been able to net in is because of clarity. Clarity. You need to have clarity for next year. So vision answers why, goals answers what. So when you answer the question why, then what? What do you want to do? Do you understand? What do you want to do? To write my first book before June next year, or to write my third book before June, or to write my, to have 10 million or $2 million or 10 million naira or 500,000, depending on your capacity, like I said earlier, by December 2023, to drop 30 lbs or 20 kg of weight by March or by April. These are goals. This is what we are used to. To find a career that I love in this industry or that industry, those are goals. And that's what we are used to. That's what a lot of us have now. And that's what we run with, but that's not how it works. To find a life partner, become an expert or a leader in blah, blah, blah. to have my master's degree, to have my, all these things, answers to goals. Now, the next phase I want to talk about in this foundation laying webinar is that there are different types of areas that you want to focus if you don't know now, or you have forgotten, or you never took it seriously. You want to begin to take it seriously. In fact, on my list, the first goal is health and fitness. So the older that we get, we begin to see the value of some of these things, the things that we hissed on when we were younger, the things that we don't worry about that, you know, eat anything, drink anything, just, you know. But the older we get, when we look back, we're like, woo. And then we tell those who are coming, but the same attitude we gave to it is the same attitude they are giving to it until they now get there. But it's better to learn from other people's experiences and mistakes, right? So health and fitness goals, spiritual goals, personal development goals, relationship goals, you need to have all these things. So it's fine to have them. Now you will see where the work is, and then we're going to wrap it up there. So you have health and fitness goals, you have spiritual goals, if you're writing down, you have personal development goals, that's the third one. You have relationship goals, that's the fourth one, you know, where you do relationship audits and all that. You have social media goals, because that's like the, is it 8th or 9th continent now? You should have a social media goal, financial goals, right? Family goals, career goals, and retirement goals. Everyone under the sound of my voice should have a retirement goal as well for 2023. If you never did, don't say, I'm not even eating well. No, go and open an account and call that account your retirement account, even if it is the minutest amount of money you want to be putting in there every month. Put it in there, out of the little, out of the much that you're making, if you don't have one already. So you want to have all these goals, right? List them out, like I just gave you an example. Now, in each of these areas, haven't set goals. So let me say this before I move to the next thing, right? Setting too many goals can be counterproductive, and you need to know that. Setting too many goals, like now, I just listed over how many things did I list now? I listed one, health and fitness, spiritual, personal development, relationship, social media, financial, family, career, retirement. 9 things. You can add some more. That's a lot. That's a whole lot already. And then somebody will now say, under health, you want to write like 5. No, that's too much. So in each of this, you want to do maybe like 2 or 3. You set 2 or 3 goals for each of these things. Remember, I started by saying, man, do what? Know thyself. Know yourself. Know yourself. So you want to set like 2, 3 at most for each of this for next year. That's goals. That's fine. That's not even where we're going here. That's not even where the work is. That's not where the work is. So in each of those areas of your life, haven't done that, you break them down, you write those, you write those goals, like 2, 3 of them, like I said, and then now we move into the core, which is planning. That's where the work is. You will need to spend days doing this. So can you share the screen, the one that has the why, who's going to do that for me quickly? If do you have that, the one that has the one that has the 4? Thank you. Thank you. So look at this, guys. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? Can I get responses? Can you all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. That's fine. Good. So you look at it now. You see the why? The why answers to what? Vision. The what? Underneath, look underneath. It says goal. right? So you have the first thing, like I said before, is to picture it. How do you want it to look like? Not just, and that's where you get the word vision boarding from, right? Where, and this is what it simply means. For everything you are seeing, you are having a pictorial representative of them. No matter how small your room is, create a vision board for 2023. There is a path that makes for success. There's a path that the successful walks on. Listen, guys, you have to understand that. You need to understand that. Even for those of us who love football, I watched the finals. You know, a lot of people were beginning to talk about the fact that Mbappe, you know, was not going to only take the cup if he had gotten it for himself, but he was going to take the cup even for his idol, his role model. That they said he has pictures, different pictures of him. I think Ronaldo also, and all that. Every success, these people apply these principles like as though they are foolish. But because we speak too much English, overload of I know is what has kept many people at the same level. The level of mediocrity and self-deception. And we need to stop that. Because the much is in the little. In these very little things. That's where it is. Not in the multiple of putting research and jumping everything goal. Then you now get crazy and mad, and then you're like, oh! Goal setting is goal setting. Just answer the question what and move. So create the vision board, pictorial representation. I learned that from a mentor of mine over 20. I still had that conversation with one of our leaders. You know, when I was still in the Polytechnic, before I moved to the University of Abuja, back then, 1999, 2000, I get into his sitting room because it was just a room and parlor. The whole wall is full of pictures. And I've seen that in different places that I have been to. In their inner chambers. You come into their house, beautiful house, but in their inner chambers, when you are privileged to go there with them, you're like, what is this? Those who are into public speaking, they will put a picture of a crowd in the stadium. You know, these things help you. Will you achieve them? I don't know. But it's going to bring you to that place of clarity, that place of oneness, that place that enables your drive and your push. Let's move on. So now you move into what? That's your goal. And then you move into the planning where the work is. And the planning answers to these questions. Who, what, when, where, how much. For each of those things that you have listed, now we are going practical. You can take the screen off now. For each of those things that you have written down, you now want to begin to break them down by asking yourself these questions. You see that it's a lot of work. It's not a walk in the park. Success doesn't just happen. Success doesn't just happen. Failure would have happened 10, 15 times. It takes a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. Paperwork, pen and paper. Coming together. Not just, you're going to start with sticky notes, but moving from sticky notes to a book, to a book. Have them there. 2023. So it's not lifting up paper on the 31st. It goes beyond that. So vision has one block. Why? You just answer to be, and then you fill it up. Goal, what? 30 pounds, lose 30 pounds, in 4 months. That's a goal. MSc UK. That's a goal. Maybe the vision is to be an internationally approved consultant. That's a goal. Then that's a vision. Goal, masters. Then you start writing all those things, to this, to that, thesis, everything you want to write. But that's not the whole, that's not where it stops. That's not, you see, plan alone, 6 blocks. So you now begin to draw the arrows. I'm going to be having these personal sessions with some of my folks. Because if you are in this tribe, you must succeed. You must. It's contagious. You have to. But this is the foundation to the several other things we'll be talking about: relationship, money, finance, bringing in guests and all that. But we need to establish this before they come, before we begin to do all that. So most people will stop at the goal because there's so much emphasis on goal setting, very little on planning. Very little on planning. For every goal that you have, there must be a plan in place, detailed plan in place to help you achieve it. Who will do what? Who will do it? Who will do what? What needs to be done? When will it be done? Where will it be done? How will it be done? How much will it cost me to do it? Then you move to the how much, just the how much alone. Then okay, it's going to cost you 10 million. Let's say in Naira, or 2 million in dollars, or 500,000 in dollars. How can I raise it? Or you go back again to who? Who can help me raise it? What do I need to put in place to raise it? When do I need to raise it? Because there's a timeline to it. How do I need, you see, do you understand? Engaging your faculties. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. I hope somebody learned something small. You know, I'm going to wrap it up. Can you put up the next one, the next chat? There's an action plan worksheet. Put that up for me. So, see, guys, it does not matter, right? It doesn't matter the goal you are trying to achieve. Your chances of achieving the goal increases in geometric proportion when you ask and answer these questions. You see, clarity in life, clarity really is in the questions we avoid to ask. Clarity. And I want somebody to write that down. Clarity is in the questions we avoid to ask. And until it is clear. I was going to call, if we had a photographer, I was going to call the person to explain to us the dynamics of a camera, how it works. And I'm sure every one of us, we are selfie takers. We take pictures every day. So after you have written down, you have answered all these questions in details, right? You need to learn how to convert your answers, to action plan. And this is a sample of like an action plan worksheet. Convert your answers to a worksheet. I'm sure somebody has captured it already, so you can bring it down. It's just for someone to pick it up and then take it up from there. So the action plan, thank you. The action plan is how do I put this now? The action plan is going to help you because you need to have action items. I mean, we've had several meetings, and one of the things I always ask after all the talks, I think I had a meeting with Taufik, which day was that? And I told him, put these things in document, give me action items. What are the things that we need to do? We began to ask this question. We ask these questions, we get these answers. Action item. What is the action? Who is responsible when? And then what's the status? Have a book always with you in your bag, in your room, anywhere you are. You have action items for all your goals. You have who is responsible, if it is you, if it is someone else, when. Put a deadline and a timeline to it. See, guys, see yourself as a project. See 2023 in the different areas of the goals you have set as a project that has a start date and has an end date. Everything you want to achieve next year should have an end date, a start date and an end date. Very important. So let me give you an example. And I'll try and see. There's a place I want to wrap up, and I'm going to get there in a bit. Just give me a few more minutes. I mean, I'm helping you. We're helping ourselves. So let's look at this thing. Let's look at these statements. Like, for example, now we have a summit coming up next year, you know, all things being equal. And one of the suggestions that came is for us to do some advertising using influencers, right? Some advertising using influencers. Influencer marketing, right? As they call it. Now, that statement alone will require like over 7 to 10 different actions. Who are the influencers that we want to use? When will we contact them? Who is going to contact them? Should I do it? The national director should do it. The EAT Summit director should do it. Who should contact them? So the action plan worksheet is going to show you at a glance what needs to be done, who needs to get it done, when it needs to be done, the status of the action. Do you get it? So because it is difficult to capture what is not measured. That's what this does. It is difficult to capture what is not measured. And that is this exactly. It's what, when you have this together. I want to talk about some mistakes of planning, but let's not look into that. So let me give us a template, and that's where I want to wrap it up. Let me give us a template. And for those who are taking notes, this is going to help you. Examples, you know, scenarios that would help you better. So let's look at, for example, weight loss. You know, because I mean, this is common, right? For some people, for some it is not, but just apply the templates, you know, into whatever you're going to be doing in 2023. So get a book, and then let's look at some of the questions you want to ask. So you're going to ask now, for example, you want to say, what method of weight loss am I adopting? That's number one. What method of weight loss am I adopting? What is my target date for achieving the goal or the goals per time? 20 lbs or 20 kg at this time. Then the next 10 at this time. Then the next 5 at this time. So what method of weight loss am I adopting? What is my target date for achieving the goal? This is how planning comes to be. Who will be my accountability partner? You should have an accountability partner in this journey. Then when will I be exercising? Morning or evening? You understand? What will be my trigger to begin to exercise? Where will I be exercising? At home or at the gym? Or if you want to do the food or the meal planning thing, you can also use this thing to do it. Am I going to the gym? Yes. How much does it cost to register with the gym? Where will I get my exercise kit? You need to drill down till you get to the most minute, the littlest of it all. That's how great institutions are built. You want to raise 20 million. You want to raise 50 million to do something, or to do a project, or to do a business. Break it down. How, where, when, who? What do I need to put in place? And then not just thinking about it in your head, and then it gets clumsy, and then you lose track of time, you lose track of effort. You don't even know when to celebrate yourself. Those of us who are into sales and marketing, the same thing. You're planning to hit a sales target. of a particular amount. So the first question you're asking yourself is, what product am I offering? Yogurt and granola. How much will I sell a unit of the product? Probably you've defined that already. Who are my target buyers? Do you need to redefine them? Do I need to write letters, sales copies? Who am I writing them to? How many units do I need to sell to hit my sales targets? How many sales copies do I need to write per month, per week? What strategies am I using? Social media, direct sales, street sales. You need to have all these things in place as we prepare for 2023. Because the whole idea is to position yourself for success. Like I said, success does not happen. How much will it cost to run the advert? When will I start the advert? How can I turn buyers into those that will be marketing for me? Who can I partner with? All these questions you begin to ask yourself. So this for me is the first thing I want us to go and do, and then we'll take it up from here the first week of January, and then we start drilling deeper from here. So I would encourage you, take some time off, switch your notifications this period. The future is created in the present, friends. The future is created in the present. Whatever we are going to be tomorrow, we are already creating it by our actions, our decisions, our moves, the way we set goals, the way we plan. It's already been decided now, it's already been decided now. And the future is all about possibilities. It's all about possibilities. Even though our minds, as we grow, we have been trained to see impossibilities, to see challenges. So at times when I discuss, that's why I find it difficult to discuss certain things with certain people now, because when I bring it up, the first thing they are thinking about is the challenges, the hiccups, the cannot walk. But how about if it works? So whatever you've been through, you've gone through in 2023, 2022, or 2021, or 2020, is not a determinant of what you're going to become in 2023. You have the keys to strategically position yourself to gain clarity based on these things that we have discussed today. In clarity, you can know the doors to knock. You can know the path to follow when you have clarity about these things. One of my very close person, doing her master's in the UK, and I told her, I said, see, you're going to do PhD. You understand? PhD, I said, no, you're going to do PhD. You know why? Because I'm your accountability partner. I see certain things in you that the possibilities can be achieved based on that. I said, but she just started. But even though she just started, we already started putting strategies in place. Where, how, what do I need to do? In asking these questions, planning is being established. Clarity is gotten. It helps you know what to do and what not to do, where to go and where not to go. So in 2023, like I told the leaders, I said, be the definition of getting it done. Be the definition of getting it done. You have to get it done. The era of half done, dump, and move to the next one has to stop this month. In fact, it has to stop today. You have 10 half-baked relationships. No clarity. Half-baked projects everywhere. Touch and go. touch it, you touch it, you touch it, you touch it. No, it has to stop. If it is 5 things, if it is 3 things you want to sit with next year, let's build this plan, detailed plan. Let's have the worksheet. Let's have the action worksheet, and let's run together. I'm available for you. Book an appointment. Let's look at these things together. Let's drill these things down. You have a business, you have an institution, you're growing, you know, you have a team you are building, you have a product you want to push out there. Let's get this foundation right, and then every other thing we will begin to build on it as we move into the next year will be built on a laser focused clarity. Laser focused clarity. So I'll stop here, and I would want to say thank you for your patience to listen. This is action driven teaching. I don't come no more to hide. I come to let you know that there's work to be done, and we need to put in the work. We need to put in the work. And I'll leave you with this advice. The story of a guy who was engaged in a 100-meter race, and they asked him that after the race, okay, so this was what happened. They got to the track race, and I'm sure a few people have heard me say this story before. They got to the track race, and then you know how it goes. On your marks, get set, pat. The gun went on. Everybody was running. Now, they had the stand. And then for those of us who have been there, there will always be a stand where our parents, our siblings, and friends would come, and they will be all cheering, you know, go, 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 go. And they were all screaming and shouting and asking him to go, 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 and all that. And then the other people who had, you know, their other siblings too, were also shouting for theirs and booing the other one. Oh, I mean, you see that happen during footballs, right? When they are about to go and score, they boo them. Ooh. When their own team is going to go and score, they start shouting and singing and all that. So when this guy chested the tape at the end of the race, the media guys ran to him. You won the trophy. You got it. You got it. And then they were interviewing him, asking him questions. And then one of the media guys asked him and said that, so we noticed during this race, we had people on the stand that were, you know, shouting and you know, asking you to go and go win the trophy. And then we had some other people who were booing you and asking you to, you know, follow, you know, you will follow you. They were saying negative things and shouting at you and doing all kinds of things, shouting down at you. And then they asked him that amongst them, the ones who were shouting your praises to go chase the tape and win the trophy, are the ones who were booing you and asking you to trip and fall and all that. Which of them helped you to chase the tape? And then he said to them, he said, you know what, guys? I didn't even see anybody. I didn't know anybody was on that track. The only thing I saw on that track was my line and the tape. My line and the tape. That's going to be my advice to you as you step into 2023. It's good to get the praises. It may not come. And when it doesn't come, it shouldn't stop you from pushing. It shouldn't stop you from thriving. Remember, I said that at the end of the day, there is only one person that you need, and that person is you, not your parents, not your siblings, not your friends, not your spouse. At the end of the day, it's going to be you. It's going to be you. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to stop here. I'm going to be asking if we have any questions or contributions. Any questions or inputs? Lachak, any questions or inputs? Dr. Kike?
It's just an appreciation, sir, for the wonderful beginning. In fact, I started with you, but I have lecture, so I just joined at the last part. But I enjoyed the last part very well.
Thank you. All right, Dr. Kike, you want to say something?
Yes,
I see hands. All right, excellent. Sorry?
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly, Dr. Kike.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this wonderful teaching. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Okay, my question is that you made mention of people encouraging us to have a big dream. Don't limit yourself by setting small goals. And if your dream is, or if your goals are not big enough, you might not be able to achieve. So you also mentioned that.
I quickly, let me correct that. I mean, I never said your goals, when your goals are not big enough, you will not be able to achieve it. You know, I think what I said was that it doesn't matter the size of your goals. Make sure you have plans for them, right? Break them down. But then it is not also about it is about the capacity that you have. Let the goals that you are setting, you know, be in correlation with your capacity to accomplish and to achieve them. Okay, so I just need to correct that.
Yeah, exactly, sir. So my actual question is that setting a goals based on your capacity, and you are getting some encouragement that just times 10 your goal. Like I've listened to some I don't some people that says times 10 your goal, you can achieve more than you think of yourself. So what do you think about that? When you have a particular goal and they ask you to times 10 it?
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with you times 10 in your goals, right? I know the times 10 principle, 10 times principle and all that. But let me give you an example. I'm trying to look for an example now that would fit into what I'm saying, what I want to say. Okay, so I can afford a 2022 brand new car. And I start thinking about, okay, my goal for 2023 is to have a private jet. I just times 10 my goal. Then I start running the private jet race. Do you understand? And that's the thing. I'm going to overkill myself. Can I achieve it? I mean, possibility thinking, right? Positive thinking. I can achieve it. Will I achieve it? The truth of the matter is that the possibility to achieve it next year is slim. It's slim. That's the truth. That's why I started by saying, man, know thyself. Know who you are, know where you are, know your capacity per time. As much as I agree, I talk about it, think big, dream big. You understand? But understand that growth starts at your level and you can stretch from there into much more. So it's good. Dream big times 10 your goals and all that. Haven't done all that. Man, be truthful to yourself. And that's what brings about, you know, people having to commit suicide, depression, and all kinds of things that goes on today. Like suicide now becomes like water. Look at the guy, the DJ guy that does DJ for what's that show? Is it SC show or what is this woman's name? Someone help me out. Ellen. Thank you, JB. Ellen. Now, the big question, look at the beautiful kids that he has. I watched lots of videos about him. Look at the beautiful wife. Look at the house, beautiful house. So the big question is that what happened? What happened? What happened? Do you understand? And several others. The CNN guy, too, the same thing. He's traveled all over the world, has all access that he needs to have. So it's okay to times 10 your goals. It's fine. I don't have any problem with that. But I have come to that place of teaching reality, possibility, and impact. Grow, think big, and all that. But also understand that growth starts from where you are. I still want to emphasize on that. Growth starts from where you are. So you don't set these things and then you get to the middle of it and you're now beginning to ask yourself, how did I get here? How? And then you get confused. You get confused. Set the big goals, have them, times 10 them if you can, even times 100 them if you want to. But always remember that you need to be truthful and sincere and genuine with yourself. Is that clear, Dr. Tola and Dr. Kike?
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Dorothy, someone has to fill the
All right, thank you so much, sir. That has been a well expository section we had tonight, from working hard and being creative, and also understanding who one truly is. Now, talking about the subject of the matter which we're looking at tonight, for success in 2023, and also we've heard it that motivation could get you started, but it may not get you to where you want to be. What could get you to where you want to be could be is consistency. So now, coming back to positioning yourself for success, will you or do you need to be motivated you to answer the question why, for you to be able to attain your or position yourself for a success in 2023? I don't know if you get it.
I understand. I'm going to just answer this in one statement or just an illustration, right? Motivation is whatever. We all need motivation. That's the truth. But it should be, motivation should not be a topic. It should be a lifestyle. You understand? And that's why we need to have accountability partners around us, because at times you don't feel motivated, but the next person by your side, the person who you call either your mentor, your accountability partner, or whatever it is, would, you borrow. It's like brushing your teeth every day. You need it like toothpaste. You got to brush it. You got to keep yourself, you got to find something that keeps you motivated. You need to consistently be motivated to do what you got to do. So you need motivation. That's the truth. Anything done, if motivation is not even there, just keep at it. Make sure motivation catches up with you, because you need it. Motivation is needed every day. It's like having your bath every day. It's like brushing your teeth every day. So it is there, it is not there, let it catch up with you, but just make sure you got it somewhere, either from yourself inwardly or from the people around you, from a movie. Take a break, find something that keeps you going. That's why in the beginning I said that at the end of the day, you still need to have this meeting with yourself. So one other question you want to ask yourself as you prepare for 2023 is, what keeps me going? What keeps me going? Ask yourself. And invest more into that thing that keeps you going, because what keeps you going is the definition of motivation. That's what defines motivation. What keeps you going? Is that clear?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. So if someone has settled the issue of identity, clarity, vision, goals, plans, and have realistic and achievable action plans, but begin to experience setbacks and encounters unforeseen challenges, what can the person do to ensure they experience success in 2023? Now, this is where stock taking comes to play. This is where you now begin to ask yourself questions that has to do with this thing. So what brought about the setback? What brought about the challenges? You need to track back again into 2022 and begin to ask yourself, What were the things that I did right that worked? What were the things that I did wrong that did not make it work? What are the things I need to now begin to work on that would make it work? Now, see, I'm excited about how this teaching started. Now I'm beginning to get excited about it. And I want you to go back and probably just watch the early part of this session that we had. It's going to bring some more clarity to a lot of questions that I know I'm going to be hearing or getting from the participants today. But the truth of the matter is this, that in the midst of your goal setting and you're breaking down these plans, there will definitely, most of the time, there will be challenges. There will be hiccups. Let me give you an example. My goal this year was to publish 2 books, right? Was to publish 2 books. And then at the end of the day, I had my plans in place, and the 2 books are ready as I talk to you now, but they are not published. They're not out for public consumption, but both of them are fully ready. Stuff's happened, between August and now. I had some few challenges that made me quickly change into something else. And that's why I started by saying that the calendar year is not what determines my pain or my pleasure. So what did I do when I was preparing for 2023, which I'm literally done, was to move some of these things again into 2023 and then begin to ask myself, what are the things that made this stuff to delay? Now, okay, health. Okay, now I'm already giving attention to my health. Now I'm doing this. I've put all these measures in place to be able to tackle what stopped me from getting it here. Finances. What do I need to do? Increase my income. How do I increase my income? Switch projects, switch job, or whatever it is that I needed to do. Okay, throughout the resumes, did that, went through the process, switch the job. Do you understand? So if there are unforeseen circumstances that you don't have, you can't do nothing about it. No matter what you try to do, it's not going to work. Then it's fine to hold on that project and switch. See, all these things are not written in gold, and that's why people break themselves. You break yourself. But push. I'm not saying don't push. I'm saying push. Push to the limit that you can take, that your capacity can take. But don't push to break. That's why you hear people, I just spoke with him in the morning. Where is he? He's gone. Oh, I just spoke with her in the afternoon. What happened to her? Oh my God. And all that. Don't push to break. Don't push to die. Know when to smash the brakes. But don't be mediocre. At the end of the day, all these things are determined by the goals you have set, the plans you have put in place, and your capacity to drive them. That's why you need to have around yourself the company of the right set of people. That's why you need to be a part of a tribe like this, where we consistently, when you're in your strength is weak, another person is up pushing for you. And then we just keep doing that until we get there. So as you prepare for 2023, you had some setbacks in 2022, go back to the drawing board, ask yourself certain questions. What did I do wrong? What should I do right? How do I adjust this? How do I fix this? And then make sure you are doing it with pen and paper, please. It's very important. Don't do it don't lie down and be thinking sit down and write these things down on pen and paper. It has to be pen meeting paper, please. It's very important. So when you draft all these things out, you ask yourself all these questions, you speak to it with a mentor or an accountable, that it could even be possible that you are actually chasing the wind, thinking you are chasing the real thing. So don't walk alone. Let's do it together. That's what I'm going to advise on that. Tayo, you got that?
Thank you very much. I got your responses. Spot on. Thank you.
All right, Blessing. We're going to take this one last question, and then, so guys, this is the Center for Real Impact. Feel free to check us on our social media handle. I think our social media handle on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere is at Official Real Platform, right? At Official Real Platform. Follow, like, and do all that needs to be done. You know. So, Blessing, I'm waiting for you. Are you typing the question or you are asking the question?
Oh, that's good for you to talk. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you? Go ahead.
Okay, I have 3 questions. Okay, the first one is based on the question the first person asked. So I wanted to ask, like you said, first of all, we should get to know ourselves, right? So my question is, can mediocrity can it affect the limit to which we can know ourselves? Okay, in terms of setting a goal now, most of us sometimes we are just there, we just settle for whatever comes. So when setting a goal and then knowing yourself can like, I don't know if you get my question, like mediocrity, can it affect the limit to which you know yourself when you set your goal?
Yeah, you know, the truth, yeah, it definitely will affect, it definitely is going to affect you when you I'm careful not to say when you are a mediocre, because that's not who you are, right? But when you set mediocre goals, you know, because of the fear of the unknown. So the question I'm going to ask you is this: if there are no limitations, if there are no setbacks, if there are no challenges, what would you set for yourself as a 2023 goal? Remember, it's the goal. That one is easy. Anybody can set goals, but the plan is where the work is, like I taught this evening. So, but let's assume there are no challenges. You are into fashion. Let's assume there are no challenges. There are no limitations. What are going to be your goals? That's how to kill it. That's how to kill mediocrity.
Okay. So you just have to imagine that there are no limitations.
You need to have the vision. That vision is the first thing, the picture of the future.
So then
you now have a goal based on that. And you now set plans. You now write plans. That's where the work, chunk of the work is. Is that clear, Blessing?
Okay.
All right, Taufik.
Yes, sir. And then the second question is, does the plan...
Your network is bad, Blessing. Can you type it? Can you type it out? Can you type it? Your network is kind of bad.
I think the network has left, has exited her out, so
Oh,
just
okay.
left.
All right,
Yeah.
Taufik, over to you.
Good evening once again, sir, and thank you for everything. It's been wonderful, and again, I have learned a lot. Yes, I think this yeah, what you said about clarity, I'm trying to get it from my notes. Yes, if we can answer the clarity question, a whole lot can be achieved. I think I agree 150% with that because of my experience in the last few months. But then I still have a few questions concerning clarity, especially when you said that clarity is in the questions we avoid to ask. Now,
could the question we are avoiding be about discipline? Like, is there any link between clarity and the discipline to do what you have clarity about? Is there any link or similarity? Are they even the same? Thanks.
Yes. So the issue the when we say that clarity is in the questions we are not asking, it's the reason why a lot of people are not asking those questions is like I said to, I think it was Dr. Kike, is because of the fear of the unknown. And then I think it was Blessing, I now asked her, I said, let's put it that there are no challenges. Let's put it that everything is smooth. Let's start from there. Even though we know there will be challenges, we know it's not going to be smooth, right? So, but coming from the place of, I can achieve anything I set for myself to achieve, it helps us to be able to ask questions that we are meant to ask. For example, you want to travel out of the country, maybe to go do stuff, and then you had asked a few years or few months ago about what the cost of just getting a passport is. So somewhere in the back of your mind, you have, see, that's why I said at the beginning that at the end of the day, it comes down to you. So in the back of somebody's mind, he or she wants to write it as a goal to do, but that unconscious beep, the back of, there are people who have been able to smash, goals based on this. I don't know if someone like Victor Oyebade, for example, I know people who have smashed this impossibility line because of the fact that it's the I will not stop spirit, the I will not give up spirit, the I can do it spirit, against all odds, the fighting spirit, even though you know when to smash the brakes, right? That fighting spirit, that drive has to be there. So when you get to that point where unconsciously those questions or those things are popping and beeping at the back of your mind, you don't want to ask yourself that question, because you know when you ask that question, there is a beep behind unconsciously that is telling you that you cannot do this thing. So why move on? Why press? Why push? To what we want to fight. So it's not even a discipline thing like that, like per se. It is a fear of the unknown thing, which we need to address. Because the discipline comes much later in the getting it done. That's where discipline comes in. But documenting and putting these things together, which is the foundation we have laid right now, most of the things that stop documentation is our inability to ask the right questions. And the reason why we're not asking the right questions is because of the fear of the unknown. So clarity is locked up in the questions we are not asking. And at times, some people don't even know the questions to ask, right? So they want to ask, but they don't know how to ask. So someone said that when you are in the presence of greatness and you are done asking your questions, it is okay to ask the person, is there any question that I am supposed to ask that I haven't asked? You understand what I'm trying to say? So I wouldn't say it's a discipline issue. I would say it's the fear of the unknown issue. That's why some people don't ask. And then some people don't even know what to ask, That's the place where ignorance comes to play, not knowing what to ask. Is that clear, Taufik? Topic, did you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
All right then. Thank you so much, guys. So, media, we're going to stop here today, and then the date for the next webinar is going to be announced, and then we would, take it up like we did now. Share our, talk to friends about it, tell our folks on our social media handles, Facebook and all that. And then we come back again in January. But right now you have enough to work with. You have a lot of work to do right now. And I'm pleading with us to get back to our drawing board, get back to our notepads, our books, and drill in some more, put in some more work, put in some more energy. You want to drive your social media, you want to drive your business, you want to drive your you want to drive whatever it is, put in the work now. Document these things accurately and rightly, and then get an accountability partner or talk to your mentor about it, and then let's see how we can you guys can drill in better and better. All right then, thank you so much for your time again. Feel free to follow us on our social media handles and be a part of what we do at the Center for Real Impact. If you are not yet part of what we do, this is a turnaround tribe. This is what we do here, helping each other become better and to gain clarity at what we do, and holding each other's hands to the place where we can both together and collectively chest the tape and pick up the trophy. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.